Hi, it's Jonathan. Today I have a new toy. This is the Laney IRT-Pulse. So here we have the unit by itself. Cute little note. Okay, let's open this up. It's about 1 kg. This thing weighs about 1 kg. Works from 100 to 240 volts. And no stated country or origin, so I guess it's as good as mine. This is a traveling pouch for the unit. I believe this is the, what is this? Oh, this is the plug adapter for, in our case, in Singapore we are using the UK system, so this will come in handy. This, I believe, is the power supply. Yes, it is. Very light power supply, which is good. Alright. So I see some Chinese words here, so I'm guessing this is made in China. Alright. And the unit by itself. Not really that heavy, although it states 1 kg. You have a volume, a gain, emulation for the speaker cap, emulated cap, EQ. I don't know what is this for. I'm gonna fool around with this. Then you have the dark switch if your amp is too bright, the bright switch if your amp is too dark, and you have a hot switch, which I think will boost up the gain quite a bit. For metal. Reamp is when you repress this so that whatever guitar parts you have recorded on your digital audio workstation can be re-triggered to this unit via USB. From the back, you have, well, on the front again, you have the input, and then on the back you have the output, balance output, and the phone. Volume control with a phone jack, aux in for connection from a CD player or MP3 player, a remote, it says here FS1, where you can actually remotely control this unit on and off if you want to use it in your pedal board, which we are planning to do. The power supply and the USB connection. One thing that I found out is that when you're listening to the headphones, with the headphones to this unit, it turns on the speaker emulation automatically, so you will never hear it as a raw unit through your headphones. As you all know, I'm in the process of building a pedal board for a friend of mine. And I was looking, and he was looking too, for a good distortion unit or an overdrive unit. And if you have seen my previous video about the TC Electronic Dark Matter, yeah, that's a pretty good pedal. But we just wanted something with a little bit more meat, you know, a little bit more mid-rangey and a little bit more sustain. So I saw this on a website recently, and I believe this product came in quite a long time ago. I think back in 2015, 2014. It's not a brand new product, but it's from Laney. So this IRT-Pulse is a sort of a duplication of the Ironheart amps that Laney produced. These are all high gain amps, and they're really good amps. You know, I heard some of them, and this is to duplicate how the amp would sound like. Now, if you're using this unit with an amp, you have to get your settings correct, because it's a bit tricky. Now, if you have an amp that is a bit dark sounding, you know, then you might want to have the bright switch engaged, the bright switch here. But if your amp is a bit too bright, like, you know, some of the Roland Jazz choruses, if it's a bit too brittle, depending on what sound you want to get, like, you know, you probably have your amp set up for your clean sound. And if you dial in and then it's, you know, it's okay. If you feel that it's okay, these are the switches that can help you more or less compensate the differences. You have to play around with all these EQ settings, like, you know, you have the amp simulator, because if you're using through an amp, before that amp, you probably have the amp simulation off. Well, basically, it's a unit that you can actually use at home in your home studio or as part of your pedal board. There is a foot switch right here where you can actually remotely control this unit, you know, and all you need is an FS1 switch, and you can just have that unit and a foot switch somewhere, you know, in a pedal board, and stick this somewhere else in the pedal board and get your setting right, and you're done. As a home unit for your home studio, this is good for an arranger who plays guitar but who doesn't want to spend a lot of money on the other plugins that are available, like, you know, Amplitude or Guitar Rig or even the Line 6 stuff. You know, if they're not into all this learning curve and all this stuff, you just want to plug in and play, this is ideal for them. You know, it has a USB out directly to your door. It can even function as an interface, or you can just do it the traditional way, in and out into your whatever interface you're using. You know, that would suit you fine. And because it behaves like an amp, you can actually get a couple of really nice tones with this. And if you're an electric guitarist who have your pedals lying somewhere, you know, like, you know, a compressor or, you know, whatever you have, you can actually hook it up with this, and then from there out to your door, and this will function like, you know, like an amp head. So you have the compressors, you know, whatever you have into your amp head, and then from there you can use the time-based effects from your door, like, you know, delay, reverb, and whatnot. There are two 12AX7 tubes in it, and the unit can get pretty hot after use. I still have it turned on, so I just want to show you guys how it looks like. It's pretty cool. You have like a couple of lights at the bottom, so when you're placing in your floorboard, you know, the whole space will light up. So we're going to start off with the unit bypassed. So this is how the guitar sounds like without the unit being activated. Now I'm going to hit the switch. So the unit is activated right now, but at a minimum gain. So the unit acts like an amp, like a preamp section of an amp. So as I increase the gain, you want the volume to be at a comfortable level, you just bring the volume down. So I'm going to hit the hot switch, and as I hit the hot switch, you can tell that the tone changes drastically. The mid-range start popping up. You know, I'm going to just let you hear what it sounds like with the hot switch deactivated. So you can hear the low ends and everything, but with the hot switch engaged, you'll lose a bit of the low ends and the mids will just pop out. You can use this at this setting for, like, you know, raunchier power chords. Alright, and as I go and increase, you can hear, well, I'm in the middle of a light, so, you know, I'm going to have interference, even though my pickups are all humbuckers. So I'm going to shift my position just a little bit. So with the gain all the way up, this would be an ideal position for a solo sound. So I had the delay activated this time. So this is on the last pickup. Fourth position. Couple of things to note with all these switches around. As you can see, I have the EQ engaged. Now if I were to depress it, if I were to deactivate this would have a sort of a flat response. So this is how it sounds like. You can hear more mids and everything because this is a flat response. So if I have it engaged, there'll be a boost in the low and the high ends and a cut in the mid-range. So this is flat. Engage. You can tell that the highs are enhanced a little bit. With the bright switch on, okay, this is depending on your DAW. If you have any EQ after the fact, then you can actually EQ to your heart's content. But at the get-go, when you're recording and printing it into the track, if it's a bit muffled like now, and if you feel it's muffled, then you just press on the bright switch, and you have a boost of about 5 to 8K. Very subtle. So what do I think about this unit? I think it's a good buy if you are using this for, like, you know, for your home studio. And the fact that you can actually use this as a practice amp, you know, this will be a good thing to carry along when you're on tour and in your hotel room and you don't have an amp to jam around with. It's a good unit because you have a sort of a auxiliary in where you can just hook up your MP3 and you have your headphone jack, and there is even a volume for a headphone jack, so for your headphones, you know. So pretty neat. I could see this in my hotel room, you know, and when I need to practice or, you know, to run through some songs, I will plug this into my headphones and the gain structure of this unit, how should I put it? I expected more. I expected more gain. But as it is, it's enough to do some nice solo work. But if you are looking for really high gain stuff, you might be a little bit disappointed. But then again, because you're probably using this either to an amp, you can actually drive the amp further, or in any case, if you're using this to your door, then that's the maximum gain is all you get. But mind you, I was just using the Harley Benton Super Strat model. Even though they are all humbuckers, they are relatively medium output. So if you have a Les Paul or another guitar with higher output, yeah, you can probably drive this unit to distortion perfection. Right? So I want to give a shout out to Davis, especially to Janet, who reserved this unit for me, because I was looking high and low for it. And the unit comes in at the retail price of Singapore dollars, about $270, $280. Could be wrong. I'll just put the price down below. You can probably get it at Thomann, or somewhere else where you're based. So I hope you like this video and a little peek about this unit and what it can do. If you do, give me a thumbs up, and feel free to join this channel if you want to. So in the meantime, you guys take care. God bless. Ciao.